You remarked earlier on about the cultural differences in offices between Western economies and Turkey, and I wonder if you'd like to elaborate on that.
Well, the key differences for me, and from what I've seen into the market, is that the people, the owners or the developers, are construction companies, and they tend to develop the project and sell on a floor-by-floor basis. I don't think there's only 2 or 3 assets, or I would say less than 10 assets in Istanbul, over probably 50 or 60 towers, office towers, that are fully owned by only one person. Exactly. What happens is, and there are numerous examples, is on one floor you could have 2 or 3 different owners, because real estate is seen as an investment and a good way of putting money into a safe return. The office market has been growing rapidly, and I think the availability is in the prime areas basically less than 5%. In the best buildings you have queuing lists. So in terms of how I see the difference, the main difference is that the ownership structure is very different, which makes the management structure very different and very complex, because you have many owners, most of the time not real estate experts, who have different expectations of what they should do and what they shouldn't do. So in terms of international companies having those leases with those people or with these landlords, it makes the market very complex to understand.
But we are as the office is a good example, because we used to be in a plaza where we had multi-owners. Even in our floor there were 3 different owners, and we actually changed to pretty close to plaza where it's owned by one owner, and in return actually paying $9 more per square meter just to get rid of this
Hassle.
Unmanageable hassle. Yes. So the more investors will come in, I think they will also see that if they build a very nicely structured office building, it will be preferred, although it is higher, not even slightly higher, prices than the others. So it's
because this structure, this example is exactly what's happening, in the discussion we're having a lot with a lot of our tenants. They come to us and they say, look, for some example, they suddenly, and that's just an example, this is not the market, but they just want to charge us more for putting the air conditioning in the summer, which is already included in the service charge. But it's just like this because the owner didn't know that the expenses would be that high, then it didn't reflect it into the contract, so he's caught into the middle and he wants to push it back onto the tenant. But of course, if you're an international tenant and you're used to a very lean lease in which you pay your service charge and your rent, and then you expect to have a good office quality service for the next 5 years, then these are the things that are happening with those not not specialized in retail. But if you do look at the proper the European style investment, which is held by one company, one management company looking after the asset, making sure the tenant are receiving the proper service they should get, there's queuing list. They don't get empty space, and every time there's space, they normally call the tenants inside, and this space is normally taken up by the tenants. So these assets don't come to the market. So it is interesting to see.